had, like, anybody in my clique could tell you, like, we always been a family like that was popular from the get-go because my daddy was the OG. Right. So us growing up, everybody was already hating on us, and everybody that hated on us, we just beat their ass. So we just made them hate on us more, even more. See what I'm saying? Right. So that's why it really was on some east side, this shit. Like, we from the east side.
Alright, I'm not going to listen to this guy anymore. So, there's been a lot of interviews like this I've seen in the past. A lot of ignorant shit, a lot of dumb shit. Anytime you look at stuff like this, especially young kids where they're quote-unquote beefing and they're like, oh, I'm going to fuck this guy up, oh, I'm going to fuck you up. Of course, the guy in the background has to have a fucking semi-automatic rifle just to add a little bit of legitimacy. But a lot of times rappers are just, you know, kind of full of shit. They just do this for, like, publicity or advertising or whatever. Fair enough, right? But there really is an issue with certain young people who assimilate into this whole mentality of a gang culture of fucking, I need to fucking be a part of this crew. I need to be a part of something that is this cool thing to be. And I'll admit, when I was younger, I was ignorant as fuck. I wasn't this ignorant. I wasn't AR level ignorant, but I was ignorant where I was with the wrong group of kids. We would do ignorant shit. We'd fucking do illegal shit that really I shouldn't have been doing. And it's something that, honestly, dude, thank God my dad beat my ass. My dad beat my ass so bad, I'm still scared of that motherfucker. If you walked in the room right now, I'm shutting my fucking computer off, and I'm begging, please don't whoop my ass. Because that man's boot has fucking steel tips on the fucking end of it, right? So, and this is something that is like a common sentiment. People have always said, even, you know, especially some people pick on the black community. When I say pick on the black community, I mean people who, you know, they say, oh, look at Chicago, all these people kill each other, they're animals, they're people who just know nothing but fucking lawlessness, which is not, it has nothing to do with their color of their skin. It's literally the community they grow up in, and literally the people they're around with. And I think one thing I found recently that was really, it was surprisingly sad, because sometimes I'll find ignorant shit on the internet, like I'll find dumb shit on the internet and I go, oh, this is really ignorant, but it's like funny. But this one really just made me fucking upset. Like, it made me turn into a fucking 35-year-old white woman who was just like, I can't believe, like, I want to make a Facebook post, I can't believe this occurred. So this guy right here who's talking, right, who basically kind of highlighted certain individuals who grow up in this society and grow up in this environment where their parents may have not been the best, or their parents may not have been the most supportive in the right way. You end up growing up a certain way, and you end up getting affiliated with fucking whatever fucking gang this guy, whatever the gang is that requires you to wear a Ninja Turtles mask, that's the fucking gang this guy's in, right? Now, this guy, right, this is how ignorant this guy is, and the reason why I say he's ignorant is because he's letting this ideology of this whole gang life and this whole culture corrupt his mind so much to the point that he ended up fucking bullying an 11-year-old kid. Right? This 11-year-old kid, he walks up to him and he says, oh, you're in a opposing gang, you're in the ape gang, I'm in the fucking foo-foo doo-foo gang. And then he starts roughing up this kid. He's like, this guy's like 17 or 18, he's older than him. He starts roughing him up, some real ignorant shit, some real dumb shit. This is absolutely unnecessary. But what's even worse is from this video is the fact that you realize that this kid is 11 years old, and this kid is a quote-unquote rapper called Lil Rodney, a.k.a. 30 Shots. And the only reason I know that is because that's what he fucking said his name was in a fucking court hearing. The judge asked this fucking 11-year-old kid, what is your name on the street? And he goes, I'm not gonna lie to you, it's 30 Shots. And honestly, watching this video, if it was not reality, you'd be like, oh, that's kind of funny. Like, almost like a Boondocks fucking episode, like Lintarion, fucking the kid who stole his grandma's car. It's like, oh, it's kind of funny. But this ignorance has polluted and corrupted this child so much, and so many children like him, and so many young adults like him, that it's despicable, deplorable. Fucking Bill Cosby needs to come out of fucking prison just to fucking say we need to do just so he can complain about this and say we need to do better. And honestly, like, a lot of people make fun of Bill Cosby and say, oh, Bill Cosby's a quote-unquote Uncle Tom, and oh, Bill Cosby's too hard on certain black communities. Dude, honestly, Bill Cosby lost his fucking son to bullshit and ignorance, so that guy has the fucking right to do whatever he wants, except for rape women, apparently. You can't do that, Mr. Cosby. But this, oh, by the way, I found this in my related section, some little white kid who was doing some, let me play this.
Rich gang, dude. Yo, rich gang, nigga, gang. Rich gang, nigga.
See, this would be an example of funny ignorance, and then this would be an example of sad ignorance, right? So this kid is 11 years old, and he's on videos spanning from a couple months ago to a couple weeks ago, where he's smoking weed, He's fucking around with kids. He's fucking saying, fuck whatever gang. I'm part of the ape gang, Crip gang, blah, blah. And it's fucking terrible because this guy's 11 years old. And he, as you can see right now, if you can't tell by the body language, he has marijuana in his hand. And I understand weed isn't necessarily the worst drug, but you're fucking 11 years old. This motherfucker is not old enough to be eating M&Ms because of the sugar content. Never mind fucking smoking chronic. Like, this fucking kid doesn't need weed in his life. And where the fuck are these kids' parents? I know this kid, again, from the fucking court hearing that he had. His parents apparently are not in the picture, and only his grandfather's in the picture, which, again, creates this fucking formula for disaster. But where is the fucking responsibility of Mr. Cameraman, whether he's a teenager or an adult, or even this fucking guy, to just come out and say, listen, this kid is fucking 12 years old. What is he doing here? Why the fuck is he walking around with motherfucking... Let me see, where's the video? Alright, so here's a video. This young kid, 11, 12 years old, with other young kids who are teenagers or kids themselves, walking around with a semi-automatic rifle. So here's the thing, right? This is a young kid, okay? You can almost say that, you know, I can't even blame this kid to a degree, right? We all have our own actions. We all have our own intentions. We all have our own consequences. But he's a fucking literal kid. When you see young adults, you see teenagers doing this shit, you feel bad because they got trapped in a cycle of bullshit and ignorance, right? But then a kid like this, who's fucking 11 years old, he cannot illegally, never mind buy that gun legally, he cannot illegally buy that gun because he doesn't have the money or funds. I mean, some adult gave him that fucking gun, thought it was funny, was like, gang, rich, fucking shoot him up, right? And it was fucking hilarious. And was like, here, hold this assault rifle, which is fucking loaded. Why not? It's hilarious. And what's crazy is that this kid allegedly, I don't know if this is a fact or not, he shot a 1-year-old baby, right? So now this is the point where already this is way too serious, where he's 11 years old, he's doing drugs way too early, he's fucking doing illegal shit way too early. Like at no point in your life should you do illegal shit, but 11 years old is way too fucking early, right? And he shot a fucking baby, allegedly. And here's the thing. This guy, the judge, Mr. Judge Kim, was basically saying that this kid, this is not the first time he showed up to court. He showed up to court in the past, and he said, I promise I won't do anything bad. He left. He came back on arson charges. I promise I won't do anything bad. He left. He came back, and now he was breaking house arrest, and he was also allegedly being charged or accused of shooting a 1-year-old baby. Now, the sad thing about this is that this grandfather apparently can't raise this kid properly. I don't know if it's because it's his own shortcomings. Maybe he tried already, you know, talking to the kid, beating his ass, whatever. It just didn't work. And now this fucking kid is like pretty much forced into the system where he's forced into a juvenile detention center. And the judge said, I'm going to keep you for up to 7 years possibly. And he has pictures of him on Instagram with a gun. And he's like, I will possibly keep you for 7 years, but every 5 days we'll meet and we'll see what progress is being made. Because right now you're doing worse and worse. You're doing more illegal shit. You're getting more reckless. You're fucking shooting fucking babies. And there's a lot of things to be mad at, right? I'm mad at the fact that this kid's parents aren't in the picture to whoop his ass and tell him to stop being an idiot. I'm mad that his grandfather wasn't magically strong enough to just take care of anything. I'm mad that the fucking court has to get involved. I'm mad that this kid now has to be part of the system, quote unquote, and now has to miss out of school because obviously when he's in these fucking videos doing this ignorant shit, he ain't learning about fucking pre-algebra, or at this point fucking multiplication. He's 11 years old. Jesus Christ. And I'm also mad at the fact that people like this that are sitting in this room, you're old enough. If you're a 13-year-old, 14-year-old, 15-year-old kid and you're fucking trying to associate with these people who are doing drugs, who are doing fucking illegal shit, you should automatically just look at this kid and say, get the fuck out of here. Until you're fucking 18, get the fuck out of here. And that's not to condone this behavior, be like, oh, if you're 18, whatever. But at least that's better where at least someone has some type of own intuition and some type of thing. This guy is a fucking kid, dude. This guy is fucking 11 years old. He is not capable of forming his own opinions or figuring out what he needs to do or what he has to do. And you know, it's one of these things where it takes a village to raise a child. And honestly, people, for the most part, you know, even before this kid went on trial, for the most part, this has been the common sentiment where people are like, dude, this is like beyond fucking ignorant. Like, this is something we should not be condoning, and I'm actually happy to see the overwhelming majority of people who are like, this guy's saying, listen, I know y'all are going to think I'm lame for saying this, but when a 12 or 11-year-old black child thinking it's cool to be a gang member flashes guns, will he be on the list of never-ending crime in this community? Just the thought, we need to do better and loving ourselves because our real enemy doesn't care about what set you claim or what color you rep, etc. This is absolutely true. This is something that, whether you're black, white, whatever the fuck it is, whatever community you're in, you need to fucking be a part of it, and you need to, at the very least, here's the thing, right? You know, it's almost a corny sentiment to say, like, oh, if only the people who are with him said, oh, don't come here, and people could maybe say, like, oh, this is a lifestyle, why am I going to stop him, blah, blah. Let's be honest, right? There's certain things that we, as individuals, as human beings, overwhelmingly do not accept. We usually do not accept this behavior, right? Some people do. Some of these guys are like, fuck it, he's 12 years old, let him in. But there's things that we, whether you're a criminal or a civilian that doesn't partake in this shit, we do not fuck with. One of them, which is almost a universal rule, is fucking, like, this guy's 12. Are you all of a sudden going to run a train with this 12-year-old? They're like, fuck it, he wants to fuck this bitch. Let's just run a fucking a train with a 12-year-old. No, you don't have fucking sex with kids. Unless you're Epstein and you have a private island, then it's okay. You know, but that's for billionaires and trillionaires. But in all seriousness, like, that's something that these people would not be accepting. This guy with the fucking camera would not be recording this fucking kid. I gotta get off this fucking gang kid. Would not be recording this kid making a fucking sex tape. So why are you accepting a fucking child coming in and fucking doing all this ignorant shit, holding a motherfucking gun, smoking weed, allegedly shooting a fucking baby? Like, the fact that this 11-year-old kid is even in this situation where he's in a fucking courtroom where a judge even has to have in his mind, say, maybe this kid really shot a fucking baby, because up until this point he's done nothing but reckless and crazy shit. Like, this is fucking ignorance to the highest fucking level. This is something where this should be a fucking wake-up call. And I think it is a wake-up call to a lot of people because, you know, as much as people like to say, like, oh, I'm with that OG shit. I love that shit. I love the fucking gang life, da-da-da. Whenever ignorant shit happens, like truly ignorant shit happens, that's when people's morality really shows. Because the same thing happened when Nipsey Hussle got murdered. People are like, motherfuck everyone who thinks it's cool to just run up and shoot someone in the face over some dumb shit. Like, literal retardation. Like, you're really gonna kill someone, murder someone in cold blood over dumb shit, over the most stupid, ignorant fucking shit. At least when people have quote-unquote gang violence, you can almost say it, you can almost rationalize it when people used to rationalize or romanticize the mafia and the mob. It's like, oh, it's La Cosa Nostra, it's all their family, da-da-da-da. With this, there is no excuses. It's pure and utter fucking decadence, ignorance, stupidity to have a fucking child in this situation where the fucking parents can't have a hold of him. The community doesn't care enough. Like, don't make me fucking put on Brenda's Got a Baby to fucking show you how important it is for a community to stop the ignorance. And it's fucking terrible. It's fucking awful. I really wish I didn't see this ignorant shit. But at the end of the day, what can I say? Other than at least people in the comment section seem to be, this is overwhelmingly people saying, this is fucking ignorant. This is absolutely, positively unnecessarily. This is absolutely, positively something that people need to fucking stop. I think people are wising up to the fucking bullshit. People are wising up to the horse shit. People are realizing that this whole fucking mentality of being, trapped in the cycle and you literally cannot get out of it. To a degree, I understand people have options. I understand people have different avenues. I understand the more opportunities someone has, the better they're able to do in their life. But this is a fucking 11-year-old kid. No one should be allowing this fucking kid to go anywhere near a gun. No one should be condoning this shit. And no one should be looking at him like a fucking rapper. Like, motherfuckers looking at him like, oh, 30 shots. Lil Rodney, yo, fat-ass bars, bro. I love it, bro. And then they give him fucking marijuana and a gun. And they're like, all right, now you're cool. Come on. Stop the clown shit. Stop the sucker shit. Figure out what the fuck you're doing with your life. If you want to be a fucking OG or a fucking man, when you see a fucking 11-year-old or 12-year-old come in your fucking trap house, tell them to go the fuck out and go to Chuck E. Cheese.
At the end of every single video, make sure you ask people to rate and subscribe to your content. It makes them feel like they're involved even though they're really not. And most importantly, make sure they comment on every single video. If you have to, disguise it. You know, call it something like the question of the day. And really make them think you're gonna really read it when you really don't have to. Ha ha ha!